Hey guys, Matt Marzillo here. This week we're going to have a case study that involves you making a decision as a band manager, right? So we have this problem here where you have two different options. You're managing a band, and you can either do a multi-city week-long tour in the Midwest through some exciting cities such as Des Moines, Kansas City, and St. Louis, or you could head to Austin, Texas, and play South by Southwest. So you've booked all these shows, and now you have to make a decision because you can't do both of them. Um, and you need to consider all factors, right? Obviously, there's the important factor of the actual exposure and which is better for you and for the band, and what might be easier on you, that sort of thing. But you also have all these numbers that you want to quantify. You need to that's an important part of making this decision. So that's where the Excel skills are going to come into hand here. So you have all these details for each of the tours, um, and I'm asking you to quantify them and organize all these details so that you kind of have one big number for each of the tours, right? So you have one number for Austin, one number for Midwest, and you can use that to say, okay, you know what, it's South by Southwest. It's worth the extra $500 to go play in Austin, Texas at South by Southwest. Or, hey, it's a little bit less expensive to do the Midwestern tour. It's going to be easier on us. We're closer to home in case something comes up. That's why we made that decision. So there's sort of two parts to this assignment. You're going to do the actual analysis and the crunching of the numbers in Excel, and then you're going to take the results of that and you're going to use that in a report, a one-page write-up. And guys, don't get hung up on the number of pages. I'm not crazy about having you guys have to hit a certain limit. Don't worry about that. Just have a good, efficient report in Microsoft Word that includes some sort of visualization of the data, of the numbers, whether that's a graph or a table, what have you, along with a write-up. I'm like, hey, this is sort of where my head's at. This is why I'm making this decision, considering everything, the numbers and the exposure and things like that. So don't get, hey, I'd rather have a well-written three-quarters of a page report than a sloppily written three-page report. And that's going to be true in life throughout the rest of your careers. Make sure, focus on quality, not quantity. So just to give you an idea of kind of how I would maybe break this down, and you have the freedom to break this down however you'd like to. I'm thinking maybe you'd have one Microsoft spreadsheet for Austin down here at the bottom, and then one sheet for the Midwest tour. And then once you get done with both of these, you might kind of look at the numbers and say, okay, how do I want to, what numbers do I want to take into a table here or a graph here, and you use this third tab to sort of mock up some sort of visualization that you're going to copy and paste into the Word report. So you might have some different sections, and this is a working document. The tabs aren't supposed to be perfectly clean. Make sure they're organized, but they don't have to be perfect, right? This is the real world. You're essentially using Microsoft Excel as a big calculator at this point. So the van cost. So looking at the Austin tab, the van cost per day, where we at, it's $136 per night. So so 136. I think it's set up so there's 6 days. You go ahead and you insert a quick formula here. You multiply out 136. Make sure all your formulas are in the Excel sheet. Don't hard code it. Make sure I can see the formulas. So you have that. Then there's a cost per mile, and I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of a flavor of kind of the way I'm thinking of it. So it's an additional 20 cents for every mile. Do we have what the number of miles are? It's 1,120. So we have 20 cents per mile, 1,120 miles. So if I just copy and paste this number down here, okay. So now we're getting to let's reformat this. I'm not a big fan of the decimal points. So, okay, now we're starting to now we have our, if you want to, let's insert another row. So let's kind of format this so it looks a little bit pretty. I use the control button when I'm doing multi-selects. Right click, format cells. Let's just put a quick border on both of those tables. And then we'll have a total cost here, which is the sum of comma of both of these. So okay, we know our van cost in Austin's 1,040. Then maybe we can start to kind of calculate the cost per gallon, right? So we know, I think it's like $9 or something like that. And I researched this. That's actually the miles a gallon that you get in an RV. That's absurd. $9 per gallon. I'm sorry, 9 miles per gallon. So you can kind of start to calculate, you know, what the cost of gas is going to add up to. So, you know, start to kind of break down exactly each unit of cost here: van, transportation, lodging. You might have like a miscellaneous section here, and then you could total up that. Okay, that's the Austin cost, and then you can do the same thing for the Midwest, breaking it down. And then once you're done there, you can kind of take a look at the two of them side by side and figure out, okay, well, how do I wanna present this in the report, right? Maybe you take a subset. You say, okay, here's the van cost, here's the transportation cost, lodging overall for both Austin and Midwest. You can throw it to some sort of graph or table, and then take that and move it into a report, and you know, provide a narrative around it. Start talking about, okay, this is what the costs look like. This is where my head's at, and this is my recommendation. So very, very real world problem. Actually, there's a fellow consultant that I work with. He went to Columbia College, and he had this same exact situation pop up, and that's essentially where I got the idea for this from. I think it's a pretty relevant real world problem. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, give me a phone call. Always the best way to go is using the discussion boards on Moodle, but I'm always available. Thanks a lot, guys.